Wow. Thank you. You started out today talking about something that I heard you talk about recently that really caught my attention. And breathe. You were making this distinction about knowing what you want. And you said, you have everything that you know that you want. Everything that you really know that you want, you have. And you feel that discord.
In other words, if you know it,
Yeah.
and so the frequency is commonly within you, it's manifested and it's wrapped all around you in obvious ways that you and everyone else can't miss.
Right.
Right.
Well, after I heard that, I started doing this inventory, like quantifying my journey, and I looked back at everything that I've really wanted I have. And I found myself swirling in this place of huge appreciation for everything. And then I started realizing, okay, so evolution of desire. A few years ago, my husband and I decided to both become independent consultants. We have 3 small kids. We're super passionate about what we do. And we jumped off this cliff. All under this banner of freedom and joy and flexibility.
But not knowing.
Right.
In other words, you took the action before the resonance was there.
Yeah. But always feeling like that's what we want, that's what we're trying to do. And when
Always knowing what you didn't want.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Bondage,
Yeah.
working for someone else,
yeah.
keeping a schedule, someone else's schedule.
Yeah. Well, when I did this quantification of my journey, and I realized, wow, we actually have that. We get to walk our kids to school every day. We get to travel when we want. And then slowly over the last 12 months, I would get this feeling of all of a sudden wanting stability and structure. And it was always born out of a contrasting experience.
Well, now, we're going to stop you here because everything that you're saying is accurate. You are so articulate. It's really pleasurable to listen to you. And 90% of it isn't serving you very well.
Yeah.
And because an assessment of where you are
Yeah.
just concentrates the focus
Yeah.
and increases the momentum and doesn't change anything.
That's right.
So get general.
There's more to the story, though.
We don't want to hear it.
I mean, it's good. It's positive.
But we don't doubt that either. But,
I mean,
but
really,
there's something
truly.
more important. There's something more important that we can do here together.
Okay.
Because if you're standing in a place where there are desires that you hold that are vivid desires that have not actualized in the fullness that you want, then there's always some vibrational work to do.
For sure.
And the vibrational work is easier than you have ever been letting it be. So, for example, as we listened to you just now, and you talked about, you aligned and then didn't, and aligned and then didn't, and then aligned and then didn't. Just because of the different focus, because you've done a lot of thinking, and you're really good at focusing. Your energy did something that most people's energy doesn't do unless they are really accustomed to focusing. You jumped some discs right in this conversation. Now, all of you are doing that all the time to some extent.
But I've known that I've been able to do that.
But this was a sort of vivid to us demonstration of that. Again, not serving you as well as you might think.
I know.
You've become very articulate on subjects that in the deciphering of them and in the analysis of them is not necessarily the best work that you could do right now. So when you began telling us about how you and your husband have the freedom, we didn't use the word, but we felt it, the freedom to walk your children to school just for a moment, not even 17 seconds, but just for a moment, we felt you feel that freedom. Now, so we want you to envision with us that very activity. But we want you to think about how you commonly feel while you are doing that. In other words, is it really the feeling of freedom, the feeling of fun, or is it has it become just getting them to school because there's a bunch of other stuff you got to do?
Sometimes.
Are you thinking about finances? Are you thinking about effort? Are you thinking about the things that you need to do? Are you going down your things to do today list? In other words, so what we're getting at is the very thing that could be the cornerstone or the basis, the one subject out of 10 that you could choose that would put you on that high-flying disc doesn't hold you there very long, because that's not where you focus, because your active mind makes you want to analyze everything else in your life. And if we could just convince all of you, especially you, if we could just convince you that your work is